Welcome to HD Coins World. If you're a fan of rare US coins, get ready, because today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies ever minted in the United States, the 1917 wheat penny. These humble 1-cent coins are rewriting the world of coin collecting, and for good reason. Let's uncover why collectors are paying huge money for this ultra-rare piece of American history. Picture this. You're sorting through an old jar of coins or flipping through a handful of pocket change, and suddenly, you spot something different. That little copper coin in your hand might just be a 1917 wheat penny, and if you're lucky, you could be holding onto a fortune. So, what makes the 1917 wheat penny so incredibly valuable? Let's begin with a bit of history. Minted in San Francisco over a century ago, the 1917 is part of the famous Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor D. Brenner. It carries the classic wheat ears on the reverse and Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse. But it's not just old age that makes this penny rare, it's a perfect storm of low mintage, condition rarity, and historical value. Only 32.6 million of these coins were ever struck at the San Francisco Mint. That might sound like a lot, but compared to other wheat pennies, it's considered a low mintage year. Many of these coins were used in daily transactions and worn down over time, so finding one in excellent condition is extremely rare. Collectors are extremely watchful when they come across any wheat penny, but with the 1917 they pay close attention to every little detail. So what exactly do collectors look for? First, weight and size. A genuine 1917 wheat penny should weigh around 3.11 grams and measure 19.05 millimeters in diameter. If the coin has significant wear, its weight may be slightly lower, but that's normal for a circulated coin. Next up, condition, and this is a big one. A 1917 in average circulated condition might look worn, with parts of Lincoln's face or the wheat stalks faded. But if the coin is in uncirculated or mint state condition, with sharp details and little to no wear, then you've hit the jackpot. Why does this matter? Because when it comes to rare coins, grading changes everything. A coin with heavy wear might still sell for thousands. But if that same coin is graded by a professional service, like PCGS or NGC, and receives a high grade, its value can multiply by 4 times or more. Imagine this. An ungraded 1917 penny might sell for $5,000 to $10,000. But if it's professionally graded and lands a mint state 65 or higher, it can sell for over $500,000, depending on demand, rarity, and yes, even your luck. And yes, you heard that right. A rare 1917 wheat penny in uncirculated condition has sold at auction for $145,000. And even in circulated condition, collectors have paid anywhere from $18,000 to $127,000, depending on the grade and eye appeal of the coin. That's life-changing money for a single penny, but it doesn't end there. Collectors also keep an eye out for minting errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, or planchet issues. These rare mistakes can increase the value of the coin even more. So when you're inspecting a wheat penny, don't just check the date. Look for any unusual markings or design flaws. A tiny detail could mean the difference between a few $100s and a 6-figure treasure. If you think you've found a rare penny, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value dramatically. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges, store it safely, and send it to a trusted grading service. The higher the grade, the higher the value, and grading can mean the difference between a small win and a life-changing payday. So, what does this mean for you? It means that hidden in old collections, tucked away in drawers, or even lying forgotten in piggy banks, there might be a 1917 wheat penny just waiting to be discovered. And if you find one, especially in high-grade condition, it could be worth tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors all over the world are hunting for these coins, and demand is only rising. The 1917 wheat penny isn't just a piece of copper, it's a piece of American treasure. Have you ever come across a 1917 or another rare wheat penny? Tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. And if you're enjoying these rare coin discoveries, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HD Coins World. For more valuable finds that could be hiding in your change. Thanks a lot for watching, and remember, The next time you see a wheat penny, take a closer look. It might just be the penny that changes your life. Number 2. Journey takes us deep into the world of rare American coins, where a single penny can be worth more than a luxury car or even a small fortune. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1944 Dewey penny, a legendary 1-cent coin that has changed the game for collectors everywhere. This isn't just any ordinary coin. The 1944 Dewey penny is ultra-rare, highly valuable, and one of the most talked about finds in the world of U.S. coin collecting. You might be holding a piece of it right now, and if you're lucky, it could be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what makes this particular penny so special? Let's rewind to 1944. America was still in the grips of World War II. To conserve metal for the war effort, the U.S. Mint struck pennies in 1943 using zinc-coated steel. But by 1944, the Mint returned to using copper-based planchets, often made from recycled ammunition shells. During this chaotic time, a few extremely rare errors slipped through the system, and that's where the 1944 Dewey penny becomes legendary. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where a small batch of these error coins was produced. Most 1944 D pennies were made of copper, but a few accidentally struck on leftover steel planchets from the previous year. These are the true treasures, steel coins from 1944 with the Denver Mint mark. And that rare mistake is worth a massive amount of money, but even without the steel error, high-grade 1944 D copper pennies are still hugely desirable. Collectors look at every detail when hunting for this coin. Weight: a standard 1944 D wheat penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's a steel error, it will weigh closer to 2.7 grams. That small weight difference could mean huge value. Diameter: like other pennies from that era, the diameter is 19.05 millimeters. Edge: the edge should be plain, with no reading. Now, let's talk about condition, because condition is everything. A 1944 D wheat penny in average circulated condition might still look decent. But a coin in uncirculated or mint state condition is what collectors dream of. Sharp details on Lincoln's coat, clear wheat stalks on the reverse, a strong mint mark, and that shiny, lustrous copper tone, these are all signs of a valuable coin. So, what happens when you get your coin professionally graded? Here's where it gets exciting. An ungraded 1944 D penny, even if rare, might fetch around $10,000 to $20,000, depending on condition. But if it's graded by PCGS or NGC and receives a high mint state grade, its value can skyrocket to $150,000 or more. That's $150,000 for a coin that once cost just 1 cent. Grading doesn't just verify the coin's authenticity, it dramatically increases its value. The market trusts professionally graded coins, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. In fact, grading your rare coin could multiply its value by 4 times or more. Just imagine, the same penny without grading might sell for thousands, but with the MS-66 or MS-67 grade, it could land you close to $500,000, especially if there's a rare error or it has incredible eye appeal. Now here's something even more exciting. A 1944 D penny in uncirculated condition has sold at auction for $150,000. Yes, that's $150,000 for a single penny, but even circulated examples of this rare coin have fetched between $64,000 to $92,000 at major auctions. And if you think that's amazing, listen to this. If by chance you're holding a 1944 steel wheat penny, not copper, but steel from the San Francisco Mint, then you've hit the rarest jackpot of them all. Only 2 or 3 of these are known to exist. One of those sold for a jaw-dropping $373,750, and another sold for over $408,000. That's over $400,000 for one steel penny from 1944 with an S mint mark. Now, don't get too excited and start cleaning your old pennies. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value in seconds. Instead, handle it gently, by the edges only, and store it in a coin flip or holder. Then, consider sending it to a professional grader. Your coin might just be worth more than you ever imagined, so the next time you go through your change, or stumble upon an old coin jar, keep your eyes sharp for that 1944 D wheat penny. It could be the beginning of a treasure hunt that ends in a life-changing payday. And if you ever find a 1944 steel penny, well, let's just say, luck is definitely on your side. Have you ever come across a rare wheat penny? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. And if you enjoyed this rare coin spotlight, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to HD Coins World, where we uncover the hidden treasures of US coinage every week. Number 3. Get ready, because today we're diving into the story of a coin that looks small but holds incredible value, the 1941 Dewey penny. This coin is turning heads in the collector world and proving that even a humble 1-cent piece can be worth tens of thousands of dollars if the right details line up. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny. What could possibly make it so special? Well, let me tell you. The 1941 Dewey penny is more than just pocket change. It's an ultra-rare, highly collectible coin minted during a historic time in American history. With World War II on the horizon, coin production and materials were under stress, making certain years, and certain mint marks, far more valuable than others. And the 1941D, minted in Denver, has become one of the standout treasures in the entire wheat penny series. But here's the real kicker. Collectors are not just paying attention, they're paying big bucks for this rare coin. And today, we're going to break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, what collectors are looking for, and how a little knowledge and a sharp eye could land you a small fortune. Let's start with the physical details. A genuine 1941 Dewey penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If you ever come across one that feels lighter or heavier, that could point to an error or even a counterfeit. So always weigh it if you're unsure. The diameter should be 19.05 millimeters, and the edge of the coin should be plain, not reeded or patterned. Now, look closely at the design features. On the front, the obverse, you'll see the profile of Abraham Lincoln with the date 1941 and a small D just below it, indicating it was minted in Denver. On the back, the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat ears on either side of the words 1 cent and United States of America. But the real magic happens when you start to consider the condition of the coin. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A 1941 Dewey penny that's been heavily circulated and shows lots of wear might still be worth something. But if you find one that's in uncirculated or mint state condition, then you're in for something truly special. Collectors carefully examine the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the clarity of the lettering, the luster of the surface, and any possible errors, like a doubled die, off-center strike, or repunched mint mark. These tiny details can dramatically raise a coin's value. This brings us to the most important step, grading. Grading a coin means sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC, where experts assess its authenticity and condition. And here's why that matters. Grading can raise your coin's value 4 times higher, or more. Let me paint a picture. If you have a rare 1941 Dewey penny in decent circulated condition, it could sell for around $12,000 to $27,000. That's a solid payday for a penny. But if your coin is graded in a high mint state, especially MS65 or better, then its value could skyrocket to $98,000. That's right, $98,000 for a 1-cent coin that once passed through everyday hands. And that's not just a dream, it's happened at real auctions, where serious collectors compete for these high-grade rarities. But that's not all. There are also special varieties of the 1941D that make collectors go wild. Some coins feature a double die obverse, where the date or lettering appears slightly doubled due to a minting error. Others may have RPMs, repunched mint marks, where the D appears more than once because it was struck multiple times during production. These tiny minting mistakes are considered rare and highly valuable. So what should you do if you think you've found a 1941 Dewey penny? First, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can lower the value drastically, even if you think you're helping it shine. Handle the coin by its edges and keep it stored in a soft coin flip or protective holder. Then, have it evaluated by a professional. That simple step could turn your discovery into a life-changing piece of history. Imagine turning an old coin in a family drawer or a flea market find into tens of thousands of dollars, or maybe even close to $100,000. Just because you knew what to look for. It's possible. It happens. And it could happen to you if you've ever found a rare penny, or have a story about a coin you think might be valuable. Drop a comment below. We love hearing your stories, and your tip might help someone else discover their own treasure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HD Coins World, where we explore the hidden gems of American coinage, from legendary rarities to modern-day marvels. Number 4. Today's story is about a coin that might be sitting in your change jar, but it's not just any old penny. It's the 1945 wheat penny, and believe it or not, this little 1-cent piece could be worth up to $92,000 in top condition. Yes, you heard that right. A coin made during the final year of World War II, once used to buy candy or a newspaper, now holds serious value in the collector world. But what makes this coin so valuable? Why are collectors spending big bucks on a penny from 1945? Let's dive deep into the secrets behind this amazing coin. First off, let's talk about the history. The 1945 wheat penny was minted just as World War II was ending. The U.S. Mint had returned to using copper for pennies after experimenting with steel in 1943. Millions were made, but very few survived in pristine condition, and that's where the value kicks in. Now, if you're hunting for one of these hidden treasures, here's what collectors and experts are paying close attention to. The 1945 wheat penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams. If your coin is significantly lighter or heavier, it could indicate a rare planchet error, and that makes it even more desirable. Its diameter should be 19.05 millimeters, with a plain edge and solid strike. On the front, or obverse, you'll find President Lincoln's profile, with the date 1945 just under the "In God We Trust" motto. The back, or reverse, features 2 wheat stalks flanking 1 cent and United States of America. A classic and beloved design for collectors. But here's what really matters: condition. Collectors look closely at how sharp the coin's features are. They check Lincoln's hair and coat, the clarity of the lettering, and whether the surface still has its original mint luster. Coins that have been handled, scratched, or exposed to moisture lose value quickly, but those kept in safe, clean conditions with minimal wear can fetch eye-popping prices. Let's talk about grading, because this is where the magic happens. If you think you've found a 1945 wheat penny that looks untouched or nearly perfect, don't guess. Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will evaluate your coin's authenticity and condition and assign it a numerical grade. And here's the shocking part: a rare 1945 wheat penny in circulated condition, meaning it's been used but is still intact, can sell for $10,000 to $20,000. That's already impressive. But if your coin is in uncirculated condition, with a high grade like MS65 or above, it could be worth as much as $92,000. That's right, $92,000 for a 1-cent coin. What's even more exciting is the potential for mint errors, which collectors love. Some 1945 wheat pennies were struck slightly off-center, or have doubled letters, or even struck on the wrong metal planchet. These small minting mistakes can boost the value of your coin dramatically. And here's a tip from the pros: never clean your coin, even if it looks dirty. Cleaning can destroy the coin's surface and cut the value in half, or more. If you believe you've found a valuable coin, handle it by the edges and place it in a soft holder to preserve its condition. The truth is, this hobby is no longer just about history, it's also about opportunity. Coin collecting is growing fast, and more people are waking up to the idea that pocket change could be treasure, and now you know what to look for. If you've ever come across a 1945 wheat penny or have one in your collection, drop a comment and let us know what condition it's in. You never know, you could be sitting on something worth tens of thousands of dollars. So keep your eyes open, check those dates, and maybe, just maybe, your next penny could be the start of an unforgettable discovery. Number 5. Get ready to explore a penny that could transform your entire coin collection. One that may look ordinary at first glance, but holds extraordinary value in the eyes of collectors. We're talking about the 1949 wheat penny, a post-war cent that could be worth thousands, even $68,000 in the right condition. Now imagine this: what if the next time you sort through pocket change or dig through an old coin jar, you come across one of these? you might be holding a true rarity. But what makes the 1949 1-cent coin so valuable? And why are collectors going out of their way and spending big bucks to own one? Let's dive deep into what gives this penny its incredible worth, and why serious collectors watch every detail like a hawk when they spot one. To start, the 1949 wheat penny comes from an era when America was rebuilding after World War II. The U.S. Mint resumed full-scale copper penny production, but something unique happened during this time. Certain batches of coins were minted with high precision, some with rare errors, and very few have survived in top condition. Here's what collectors are carefully looking for when they come across a 1949 wheat cent. The coin should weigh 3.11 grams, which is standard for copper Lincoln cents from that period. Any significant difference in weight could point to an error coin, like being struck on a foreign planchet, and that could skyrocket its value. The diameter of the coin should be 19.05 millimeters, with a smooth edge and strong strike. On the front, you'll find Abraham Lincoln facing right, with the date 1949 clearly stamped below the motto, "In God We Trust." The reverse, of course, displays the iconic wheat stalk surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. But here's where things get really interesting. The condition of your coin, the condition, or grade, determines everything. If your penny has wear, scratches, or discoloration, it falls into a lower grade. But if it still has original mint luster, sharp details on Lincoln's coat, and bold lettering, then you might just have something very special. Collectors use a numerical grading scale, from poor, P1, all the way to mint state, MS70. The higher the number, the better the condition, and the higher the value. A 1949 wheat penny in circulated condition can still bring in $8,000 to $18,000 depending on wear and appearance. But in uncirculated condition, with a grade like MS66 or MS67, this same coin has been sold at auction for as much as $68,000. That's $68,000 US for a penny most people overlook, and it doesn't stop there. Some 1949 wheat pennies are known for rare mint errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or die cracks. These mistakes happen during production and make your coin stand out. Error coins are not only rare, they're extremely sought after by expert collectors who love the thrill of finding a one-of-a-kind piece. So how can you be sure your coin is valuable? One word: grading. Having your coin professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC can make a massive difference. A raw, ungraded rare penny might sell for thousands, but that same coin, if graded as high mint state, could jump to 4 times its raw value, or more. That's the power of grading. It gives your coin authenticity, trust, and top-tier market value. And here's a golden rule from coin experts: never clean your coin. Cleaning can ruin the natural surface and drop its value by thousands. Always handle it gently by the edges and store it safely in a protective holder. So, to recap, here's what you need to look for in a valuable 1949 wheat penny: weight, around 3.11 grams, diameter, 19.05 millimeters, strong strike, clean surfaces, original luster, signs of rare mint errors. Professional grading to unlock maximum value. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby anymore, it's a doorway to discovering lost treasures, and maybe your next coin could change everything. If you've come across a 1949 wheat penny, or think you might have one tucked away, drop a comment and tell us about it. You never know, your penny might be the next star at auction. Number 6. Today, we're turning your attention to a coin that might seem common at first glance, but don't be fooled. The 1957 wheat penny has a secret. Under the right conditions, this little copper coin could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Yes, a single 1-cent piece from Denver could unlock a payday that most people would never believe. Let's dive deep into why the 1957 wheat penny is considered ultra-rare and highly valuable, and what makes collectors across the country pay big bucks to add one to their collection. By the year 1957, the United States Mint had been producing Lincoln wheat pennies for nearly 50 years. The design was classic: Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and 2 wheat ears framing the words 1 cent on the reverse. But 1957 was among the final years before the Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design, which means that even the regular coins from this era are gaining collector attention. The D mint mark beneath the date means it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most active mints in U.S. history. Here's what collectors are looking for when it comes to a rare 1957 D wheat penny. Let's begin with the physical specifications. The weight should be approximately 3.11 grams, composed of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Any deviation from this weight, heavier or lighter, might indicate a mint error, and those errors are gold for collectors. The diameter is 19.05 millimeters, which is standard for Lincoln cents. On the obverse, you should see sharp details in Lincoln's hair, coat, and face, while the reverse should show clear lines in the wheat stalks and bold lettering. But beyond these basics, what really drives up value is the condition and rarity of error. Coins in circulated condition, which have been handled and worn down over time, may still hold significant value. A 1957 D wheat penny in decent circulated condition, especially one with visible errors or strong features, has been sold at auctions between $6,000 and $8,000. But if you happen to have an uncirculated 1957 D, a coin that looks nearly brand new with full red luster and virtually no signs of wear, then hold on tight. These high-grade coins have fetched prices at auction up to $60,000. That's right, $60,000 US for one single penny. And the secret to reaching that kind of value? Professional grading. Grading your coin through services like PCGS or NGC can quadruple its value, sometimes even more. Why? Because buyers and collectors trust the condition, authenticity, and accuracy provided by a certified grade. For example, a raw coin, ungraded, might sell for a few $1,000s. But the same coin, if graded at MS66 red or higher, can easily jump into five-figure territory. That's the power of grading, and it's a step no serious collector skips. Collectors are also on the lookout for rare mint errors that boost the uniqueness of the 1957 D penny. These include double die obverse, where the date, or Liberty, appears doubled off center strikes, where the design is visibly shifted from the center BI errors, a die break between the B and E in Liberty, repunched mint marks, RPMs, where the D is stamped more than once. Even the smallest variation in strike or detail can turn a regular 1957 D into a jackpot for someone who knows what they're looking for. And here's the big tip: never clean your coin. It might be tempting, but cleaning can ruin the original mint surface and destroy thousands of dollars of potential value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges, store it in a proper coin holder, and send it to a professional for grading if it looks especially sharp. To sum up, here's your rare penny checklist. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19.05 millimeters. Mint mark, D for Denver. Strong strike with visible detail. Signs of doubling, off-center errors, or repunched mint marks. Original luster and full copper color. Professionally graded for maximum value. If you come across a 1957 D penny that meets these conditions, don't ignore it. You might be holding a coin that could change your collection, or even your finances, forever. Have you ever found a 1957 D penny in your change or collection? Does yours have unique features? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing your coin stories. Number 7. Today we're uncovering the mystery and hidden fortune behind one of the most fascinating coins of the 20th century, the 1945 D Lincoln wheat penny. This tiny copper treasure may look like just another coin from the past, but for collectors, it holds incredible value. In fact, some rare examples of this penny have sold for over $11,000 in uncirculated condition, and even circulated examples have reached between $12,000 and $21,000 at auction. So, why is the 1945 D wheat penny such a prized possession? And why are collectors willing to pay big bucks for it? Let's dive deep into what makes this coin so desirable. First, a little background. The 1945 D penny was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark just below the date on the obverse. This coin came out just as World War II was coming to a close, a moment of major historical significance. While over 266 million of these pennies were minted, only a small fraction remain in excellent condition today. And that's where things get interesting. To the untrained eye, it might look like any other wheat penny. But to serious collectors, the 1945D becomes valuable when it meets specific criteria. Let's look at those features closely. Weight. The correct weight should be around 3.11 grams. If your penny is significantly lighter or heavier, it may be a mint error, which can skyrocket its value. Diameter. Standard diameter for the Lincoln wheat cent is 19.05 millimeters. Coins with size anomalies should always be examined by an expert. Metal composition. The coin is made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. If your coin has a different composition or color, it may be struck on the wrong planchet, a rare and valuable error. Now, let's talk about what collectors really care about. Condition. Coins in circulated condition, the kind that have seen pocket change or decades of handling, can still be worth good money, especially if they retain strong details. A 1945D wheat penny in this condition has sold for as much as $21,000, depending on how rare the variety and how well preserved it is. But if you happen to own a 1945D in uncirculated condition, with full red luster, no scratches, no wear, and incredible eye appeal, then you're looking at a coin worth up to $11,000 or more. That's $11,000 for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent. Here's the part that can truly change everything. Grading. If you're lucky enough to discover a rare coin like this, getting it graded by a professional, like PCGS or NGC, can increase your coin's value by 4 times or more. A raw, ungraded coin might sell for a few $100s. But the exact same coin, once officially graded at MS66 or MS67 red, can command thousands, even 5 figures, at auction. Why? Because grading gives collectors confidence. It verifies the condition and authenticity, which makes your coin a certified piece of history. Collectors also look for rare errors on the 1945D penny. These include double die errors, where letters or numbers appear doubled off center strikes, where the design is misaligned repunched mint marks, where the D was stamped more than once in BIE die breaks, where a vertical line appears between the B and E in Liberty. Even small imperfections from the mint can turn an ordinary penny into a high-value collectible. And here's a quick tip for every viewer. Never clean your coin. Cleaning may seem like a way to make your coin look better, but it actually destroys its value. Always handle your coin by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and if it looks uncommonly sharp, get it graded. Let's recap what you should look for in a 1945D wheat penny. Weight, 3.11 grams. Diameter, 19.05 mm. Mint mark, D for Denver. Metal, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. Strong detail in Lincoln's features and wheat stalks. Signs of mint errors like doubling or misalignment. Uncirculated or mint state condition. Certified grading for maximum value. So, the next time you're digging through your change, looking at an old coin jar, or visiting a flea market, keep your eyes peeled. The 1945D penny might just be sitting there, waiting to be discovered. And if it's in the right condition, that 1 cent coin could be your ticket to a 5-figure payday. Do you have a 1945D penny in your collection? Does it have strong detail, or a possible mint error? Tell us in the comments below. We'd love to hear your coin story. Number 8. If you've ever wondered whether a simple penny could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, then you're in for a treat today. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that may seem ordinary to most, but for collectors, it holds the potential for incredible value. Believe it or not, a rare 1957 penny in uncirculated condition has sold for an astonishing $58,000, while even circulated examples have gone for as much as $35,000, all the way down to $7,500. So what makes this 1957 wheat penny so special? Why are collectors paying such big bucks for a coin that once bought a piece of candy? Let's find out. The 1957 wheat penny was minted during the final years of the beloved wheat reverse design. With over 1.2 billion pennies produced in Philadelphia that year, the coin isn't rare by mintage alone. But here's the secret: condition, rarity of errors, and grading can elevate this simple coin to superstar status. Collectors are on the lookout for very specific features when evaluating a 1957 wheat penny. Let's break them down. Weight. The standard weight is 3.11 grams. If the penny is significantly lighter or heavier, it could be a mint error, making it extremely rare and valuable. Diameter: it should measure exactly 19.05 millimeters. Any variation in size might mean it was struck on the wrong planchet, which is a collector's dream. Composition: this penny is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Look out for any unusual color tones, which might suggest an era coin or post-mint alteration. Strike quality: sharp, well-defined details in Lincoln's hair, coat, and the wheat stalks on the reverse are signs of a higher-grade coin. A weak or flat strike lowers the value. Mint luster: a true uncirculated coin has a natural red shine to it. Collectors refer to these as red wheat pennies, and they're far more valuable than brown or red-brown ones. But the real key to unlocking your penny's value? Grading. Grading your coin can raise its value by 4 times or more. A 1957 penny that might sell for a few $100s raw could be worth thousands once professionally graded. Coins graded MS65, MS66, or MS67 red can fetch prices beyond what most expect. This is where your fortune begins. Imagine finding a near-perfect 1957 wheat penny and sending it to a top grading company like PCGS or NGC. If it comes back as MS67 red, you could be holding a $58,000 treasure in your hand. No exaggeration, collectors are also watching carefully for rare mint errors, and 1957 has some fascinating examples. Double die obverse, DDO, where letters or the date show doubling. BI errors, a small die crack between the B and E in Liberty. Repunched mint marks, RPM, on 1957D versions, where the mint mark was struck more than once, off-center strikes, which can dramatically raise the coin's value. Even die breaks, cuds, or lamination errors can add significant value if the coin is well preserved and graded. Now here's the part you must remember: don't clean your coin. Cleaning ruins the natural luster and makes it less desirable to collectors and grading services. Keep it in a soft cloth or coin flip, and always handle it by the edges. Let's go over the quick reference list of what collectors are looking for in the 1957 wheat penny. Correct weight: 3.11 grams. Diameter: 19.05 mm. Mint mark: no mint mark for Philadelphia issue. Strong, full strike and original red luster. No damage, scratches, or signs of cleaning. Certified high grade by PCGS or NGC. Presence of rare mint errors. If you've got one that checks these boxes, you could be looking at a coin that's sold at auction for anywhere between $7,500 and $35,000 in circulated condition, or an incredible $58,000 if uncirculated and top graded. So before you toss that old penny aside, look twice. That 1957 wheat penny might just be your secret jackpot. Do you have a 1957 penny in your collection? Does it have strong details or any oddities like doubling or misaligned strikes? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to know what you found.